President Dean of Students here at Whittier College. I guess I would start off by saying the idea of having a gender equity center, I believe is a good one. I think there's a opportunity to really create a place where students will have space, particularly women or folks who are exploring gender identity, that could have a place where they can go to receive support, resources, programs, and so I think it's a real opportunity to maybe tap into something that is strongly designed.
I feel like we are, as an institution, very much so on the binary when it comes to gender, and I think that we don't understand that people have different identities when it comes to gender, and I think especially doing Title IX work, I see that more than anything. So I think that a place to educate, to share, to learn, but a safe space to be able to express your gender identity would be a great place. I'd be really afraid that my trans folk get lost. I'd be afraid that the trans narrative would be controlled by a cis narrative of like what it is to be trans, and let's educate you, when it's like, I shouldn't be educating someone, right? Because they are not the majority when it comes to people and how they identify and their gender. Those are my two biggest concerns. That like it would be looked at as like, oh, it's a women's center, or it becomes a women's center, and then folks who identify as non-binary and trans would be lost, and their narratives wouldn't be heard, and then they would feel that there needs to be another space because they don't feel comfortable in that space.
Hi, my name is Destiny Moya. I work for WC Rock in the Dean of Students office, and I am the director. When reflecting on the Gender Equity Center, I think it would be a very viable resource for our students. I know we have the Office of Equity and Inclusion that would technically oversee these issues. However, I think having a resource that is more specific to gender, because I know the OEI oversees a lot of cultural aspects like race and ethnicity, so having something that focuses on the gender aspect and representation of our student body, of our staff and alumni would be really nice, because I think we all know that there are specific struggles and obstacles that come that are tied to gender specifically. And I think that office could stem a lot of programs and resources such as like mentorship opportunities, maybe highlighting on scholarships and academic awards that are centered on gender, as well as facilitate more projects and conversations about the role that gender plays in the area of academia and more.
Darling, you send me.
Hi, I'm Evelise Colon, and I work at the Office of Equity and Inclusion as a diversity ambassador. My thoughts on the Gender Equity Center on campus is nothing but good thoughts. I would say that this center would work as a liaison between several different departments on campus that are here for the benefits of the students. This would include the Office of Equity and Inclusion that already tries to hit on issues and creates events like LGBTQ plus ally training. I think it would also help be liaison with Title IX office and all the things that come out of that office. I think also working with HR and understanding students' rights on this campus would be very beneficial.
Personally, I think that an equity center for gender is necessary on the campus because we live in a very progressive time, and I feel like a lot of people need to be represented, and maybe people feel like they aren't being represented. So with this being instated, then I feel like it would add a lot to the campus because a lot of more students will feel more welcome and more comfortable in their environment.